I caught up with Dave Kindig, the founder, owner, and inspiration behind Kindig Designs. Dave, tell me a little bit about the inspiration behind some of these fantastic cars that you build.
Well, I think I try and find a theme in every car and find the personality of the owner and try and incorporate it into the build. The car that we're standing with is Apollo Anton Ono's 64 Cadillac convertible that we just surprised him with. We didn't let him see the last 6 months of the build, so there was a lot of things that I could take from what his personality was, being very classy, energetic, and classy is just the only word I can even describe him with. The 64 Cadillac, we used a lot of Olympic theme in it, and the colors that he liked. He said a black cherry, and playing off of that with a white interior kind of reminds him of the ice, the big block Chevy. I mean, we just incorporated a lot of that stuff, including a lot of Olympic themed parts.
Well, let's talk about you for a while, the builder of this great ride. What are some of the cars that you started with, or better yet, what's the first car that you customized for yourself?
Oh, well, I was self-taught. Body shaping, metal, bodywork, mechanical, all that stuff. I started with Volkswagens. In fact, I still have a car that I've been dragging along for about 16 years that I have all of the intentions to go in big time with it, and it is a Volkswagen.
Well, I don't think anybody would realize that you were a Volkswagen fan when they look at some of these hot rods you build, but other than the Volkswagen, is there anything, a car that got away from you, or a car that you really want that you haven't had yet?
You know what? 64 Buick Riviera with the 401 and the automatic transmission shifting on the floor, the posi traction. I had that car. I bought it from the assistant manager at the shoe store I was working at when I was 16 and a half. I had it for 2 weeks, got 2 speeding tickets, and had to give it back to Rudy and told him, I'm sorry, I can't afford to buy the car because I have too many speeding tickets already. I would really like to build another one of those. I think they're great cars. They have beautiful lines, and you can get really creative on those cars. So that's the one I'd like to try and find and do again.
So what's next for Kindig Designs?
Taking over the world. No, I think actually, you know what I would really like to do? We've been very successful in winning some of the bigger, title awards, and being from Utah, a lot of people don't really think that there might be something as great coming out of Utah. I think I have a Riddler in me, though, and I'm looking for the right person that might give us the opportunity to run with that, or else maybe I'll just do it with my Volkswagen. Who knows? I mean, I think that I always look at a vehicle, any vehicle, I think has the potential of being the nicest car you're going to see at the car show, and so I really don't look for the same thing that's been done over and over again. I really like doing cars that are different. A great example is Harold Wiley's 39 Buick that won America's Most Beautiful Street Rod. Right. In 25 years of Good Guys history, no four-doors ever won that. And we were up against some really, really nice cars. So I like the opportunity to do stuff that's a little bit off the beaten path.
One thing I noticed with you is you constantly say, we this, we built that, we did this. Your family back at the shop is pretty darn important to you, aren't they?
Oh, they're extremely important. You know, when you have a hot rod shop and you're gonna put all the equipment in there, the most important piece of equipment at Kindig Design is the guys that work for me. They've been there for a very long time with me. I have all of the trust in the world with them. When I put a hand rendering together of what it is that's in my mind that I've communicated to the client, my guys are craftsmen to where they can take that rendering, and if they see something that needs a little tweak or a change, or they have another idea, I give them a lot of freedom to be able to do that, because ultimately when you're done, you want to look back and be just as proud as the guy that you're giving the car back to. And these guys just, man, they're amazing. I couldn't replace any of them. They're just absolutely awesome to have in there. Very enthusiastic. They're all about the car. And I'll tell you, production goes way up when these cars are painted and going back together. Man, you can't send these guys home. They won't leave. They want to see what it's going to look like, and it's a really great feeling to have that many guys high-fiving and giving knucks, when you're getting close to being finished with a project.
Well, this is the man behind Kindig Design, Dave Kindig, and this is his car life.